Hello, welcome. Happy Wednesday. I just wanted to celebrate something with you guys. I don't know if you know this. We are no longer having these early fast days. All of your schedules are going to be the same next week. So this is the last Wednesday. That's a quick fast Wednesday. So yay. I mean, maybe you like it. I have mixed emotions about it, but I always forget which day is which and the different schedules. That's hard for me to remember. So we will be having next week one schedule, and I don't have to look at two schedules, and that makes me a little bit happier, but we'll see how it goes. So this is our last Wednesday. That's a fast Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and talk more about this E. Yesterday, let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit more. We diagnosed the light sources. And by the way, on this E, I forgot to shade those. So I'm going to get my little Q-tip because they look a little white and grainy. So I'm just going to go in with my Q-tip and just soften that up. Look at the difference between this one and this one. Just by getting that little Q-tip and refining the shading, blending it. It's hard to stay between the lines, but that looks a lot smoother compared to this one, and I forgot to point that out. So I'm going to go ahead and smooth in this one as well. Just to soften it up. Now we are shading in graphite. For your project, you can shade in graphite, you can shade in pen, you can shade in color pencil, you can shade in marker, but at least you're understanding what a value range is. And the pencil is always the first medium that I talk about this. We will also be shading in pen and other materials and discussing how to do those techniques before I'll let you guys shade your actual cover design. So that's exciting. Keep that in mind. Now, I am going to analyze this E further. The sun is coming down. I'm going to add another arrow right here. But you know what? This is kind of far away right here. And this E right here blocks some of the sunlight. So I'm going to make a little bit of a number 2 in this lower corner, just like I did over here on this one. Just a hint of a number 2 shadow, because it's further away from the light source. So I'm going to label that number 2 down here. So we have 1s and then we have 2s. If you can do me a favor when you're done with that, give me a little yes to help me gauge how we're doing. So far, half of you are ready. Try to get this out of my way. Come on. There we go. Ooh, most of us are ready. Very good. Now I'm going to analyze this area right here and here. I would say those are going to be the darkest part because they're furthest away from the light source. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That light source is here. This is the lightest, so the opposite is the darkest. I'm going to make this a number 5 right in here, using the point of my pencil to make it nice and dark. You want to have a 5 somewhere. You want to have a full value range. I'm going to label that number 5. And this is going to be a number 5. You want to tilt your paper in different directions. And I always like a scratch piece of paper so I don't smear my hand in the graphite. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll get a sheet of paper and I'll fold it in half so it's not in my way. And then I can rest it so that I don't get graphite all over myself. You want your paper to always stay nice and neat, no crumbles, no folds, nice and clean. Attention to detail is very important in art. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Go ahead and shoot me a yes when you're done. We're probably going to use a pen today as well. So if you're finished something early and you don't have a pen near you, go grab one. So far, I have 20 of you that are done out of the 33. Waiting for a few more. Waiting for 10 more students. While we're waiting, I'm going to start labeling because I know a few of you get this. This is going to be a 3 right here, and this is going to be a 4. Because I could tell that this folded front area is away from the light source. So I would say go in different directions, do whatever you gotta do. Look at that 3. Oh, that's what a 3 looks like. Turn your paper if you need to. Whatever feels comfortable to your hand to do nice and precise work. And then a 4 is going to be even darker. Sometimes what I do is like I cross hatch the graphite to do it in 2 different directions, and that helps make it darker. I don't want it as dark as a number 5, but I don't want it as light as a number 3. Okay. I'm sorry? You talking to me? Are you talking to me? So when I'm happy with it, I'm going to just brush my little Q-tip to blend the 3 and the 4. I'm going to blend the 4 first, and then I'm going to lightly blend the 3, but I don't want it to all look the same color. So that's really important. So I'm going to use the clean side of my Q-tip for the number 3 parts, just so it stays lighter than the 4. I'm pretty happy with that. Isn't that interesting how different each letter looks based on its location? It's all the same letter. Chrome wants to access the control file. And just give me a little yes when you're done. If you are done and you need a minute, grab a pen. Because we're going to do something in pen next. And then just give me a yes so I know that you're done. Half of you are done. Most projects are going to be in graphite or in pen. If you want to use color pencil or markers or any of that stuff, for example, for the cover design, that is an option, and I'll give you guys that option, but it's not mandatory. But the other stuff is pen and graphite. So you always want to make sure you get yourself one of those. And if you don't, talk to a neighbor, talk to a parent, an auntie, grandma, whatever. I'm sure you can get yourself a pen. And I also provided these at the front office, so there's no excuse. 23 out of 35 are done. I don't want to go too fast. We're going to do one more little warm-up exercise, and then we're going to be done with this paper. 27 out of 35. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So once we're happy with our 4, then I want you to label next to the value range here. This is in graphite. Graphite is a more fancy word to say pencil. Okay? The more art you do, the more fancy it becomes. The medium that we're using on this value range is graphite. Now, we're going to start a pen one. And you're going to just do the same little exercise. You're going to do a value range. In ink. The fancy word is ink. The regular word, casual word is pen. Got it? There's multiple words for different things. I'm just saying it's fancy. Oh, you're fancy. All right, so I'm going to make a long value range. It's very tiny in real life, but as long as it's a long rectangle, like so. I bet you know what we're going to do next. We're going to make a square in the middle, like that. And then we're going to divide it in half again and again. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. As long as you have 5 squares with your pen. And then we're going to label it number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and 5. We're going to treat the the pen. Yes?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Go ahead. We're going to treat the pen similar to the pencil. So what we're going to do is barely graze the pen onto number 2. Watch me first. I'm very less pressure. It's barely any pressure with the pen. Okay, as light as possible with your pen for number 2. Now number 3, we're going to do the same way, as light as possible. And they look exactly the same, right? Pretty much. But this time we're going to cross hatch the other direction diagonally to make it a little bit darker. So that one's cross hatched. So this was just diagonals and this was almost like an X. So this goes one way and then I moved it the other direction to make it darker. feel like I can go and zoomed more. Yeah. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. I don't know how to fix that. I tightened all the screws, but it's still squeaky. And then number 4, I'm going to do up and down lines. A little more pressure. And then I'm going to go diagonal one way. And then diagonal the other way. Till it looks substantially darker than 3. And then last but not least, number 5, more pressure. And you're just going to keep going in different directions until it looks dramatically different than number 4. Now you could do this with a colored pencil and make a value range with overlapping colors. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff later on. Trying to make this substantially darker. I'm pretty happy with that. So when you're done with yours, I want you to take a photograph and I will have you submit this for your proof of practice today. I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to post it. And that's a fast day for us. Not too bad, right? Let me see if I can take a picture of this. You know what I should do is zoom out a bit. So we added. So I'll know if you've watched this video or not because we added an awful lot. Some people might think we just did the E, but we didn't. When I'm grading, I check to make sure you did the ink with the value range. I wasn't born yesterday, people. So I'm going to minimize this real quick. I'm going to go to, oh, Gizmo, knock it off. He's so disgruntled. That dog is going to be the end of me. All right, I'm going to go to the agenda, week 12. And then I'm going to post that image for Wednesday. All right. And then I'm going to create a proof of practice. What's that noise? Oh, it's my computer. Can you guys hear that noise, the fan? Somebody?
Yeah, just a little.
It's not too bad though? Okay.
No, it's fine.
All right, good. Yeah, my fan's like overheating or something. Okay, so I'll go ahead and change this to Wednesday. Ooh. Proof of practice, photo and notes. This is going to be due. Let me get this out of my way. Wednesday. What time is class over today? I still haven't memorized it after all this time. 11:10 a.m. Sometimes I accidentally put p.m. I'm assigning it to this class. Yay. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Have a great day for my other classes, and I hope that this was easy and fun.